Welcome everyone to the Goblins live show. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all riding safe. We've got an interesting show lined up for you today where we're going to allow the scooters to take over for an hour or so.
One episode.
For an episode. So in today's video we got some pretty interesting scooters that we've discovered. So we'll see what our reactions are to those because they're pretty mad. But yeah, you ready, wifey?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll that intro. How's it going, wifey?
Yeah?
Yeah, doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a bit of a cold this week, haven't I?
Yeah. Now who's got it?
Well, we don't know that yet. Yeah, you've been sneezing a bit, but...
I've got a sore throat and a runny nose.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I started feeling coldy on Sunday evening.
He's done it again. He's brought another cold into the house.
It wasn't deliberate.
Starting to wonder. Once there's an accident, twice, well, I'm starting to question now. 3 times, I know that it's intentional.
Biological warfare. But I think I'm feeling a bit better today, to be honest.
Oh, I am pleased.
I haven't had a blocked nose today.
You don't sneeze as much.
No. Have I sneezed today?
Once. I
Yeah.
got to the point where you're sneezing so much yesterday, I just stopped saying bless you. Okay.
Well, it was only about a month ago that I had another cold, so...
Me too.
Sucks, but there you go. Anything else happening, wifey? Anything else that we've been up to this week? Oh, we had, of course, our new schedule this week.
Yes.
So, for those of you that don't know, we've got Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now are going to be moto vlog / documentary style videos, that kind of thing. So basically the same thing you see on Mondays and Fridays, but also another one on Wednesdays. So we started that this week.
Reaction videos moved to Tuesdays.
Yeah, reaction videos have been moved to Tuesdays, and yeah, we're putting a hold on the live show clips for now, because they don't really perform that well. So hey, it was an experiment. See how it.
Got to try these things.
See how it went, but yeah, I mean sometimes it's better, isn't it, if people just tune in live. I mean, well, having said that, you can still watch the live shows anyway after the fact, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we started that off this week. We didn't in the end go to Motorcycle Live, did we?
It was so cold, but for us to get there, we'd have to leave. So the bike part. So I was wrong. There is actually motorcycle parking. It's free, but it got updated after I'd looked.
Yeah.
That opens at Motorcycle Live opens at 10. The parking opens at 9. It was going to take us 2 hours to get there, which means we'd have to leave at 7 because I can't go on the motorway. And it was about 4-5 degrees at that time, and I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
No, it wouldn't have been a pleasant ride.
And then the thought of having to then ride home again and temperatures dropping again.
Well, to be fair, by the time we were on our way back home, it would have been warmer. Closer to 10 degrees.
Well, depending when we left, yeah.
But yeah, so no, we didn't end up going in the end, but yeah, something that we'll organise a bit more in future.
There's some that happen in the summer, aren't there? And I think we'd rather do those. Yeah,
there are events happening all throughout the year, so yeah, we'll get ourselves booked into some of those. But yeah, what else? What else has been going on?
Went to Curry's yesterday. That was exciting.
Yeah, went to Curry's. Yeah. Well, exciting for the wifey. She's getting a new laptop, a gaming laptop. So, you sure you're excited about it?
Yeah. I can't have it yet, so I'm not trying to get so excited about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've got a new phone coming, so
yeah, that's also true.
That is exciting.
Yeah, that's good. But Christmas coming up, thick and fast. Black Friday sales.
This time next month, it's Christmas Eve. You realise?
It's madness. Madness. Did we? I can't remember if we actually ended up finalising our plans for Christmas. Like when
publicly or between us?
Between us, I can't remember.
I think so. I think it was.
Was it going to be the 15th? Was going to be our last live show? Was
of
it
the year? Yeah.
the 15th? I can't remember.
Until January, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that tied in with everything else we were doing.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we haven't worked out the schedule yet for up until that point, but the last live show of the year is going to be on the 15th of December, which I believe is a Thursday.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be the last one of the year, and yeah, don't think there's anything else really.
Oh yeah.
What? Sorry, go on.
I was going to say tune in to next week's because we've got a special show next week, which you do know about because we have spoken about.
I can't remember. I can't remember it. You'll have to remind me later. Okay, cool. I'll take the wifey's word for it. No, literally, I slipped my brain. But so I'm gonna make a bit of a promise with regard to the Discord and Patreon. I intend to get them set up by the end of November, by the end of this month. So
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
It's the 30th of November.
Yeah, that's fine. Because then on the Thursday, with a live show, we can announce it and we can give people some details and things like that. So yeah, so I'm committing to that. So that'll be ready by then. But yeah, I think that's everything off the top of my head.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So I mean, how do you feel about scooters, wifey? Because obviously, when you were looking to start riding, it was my suggestion was for the wifey to actually get started on a scooter, not on a motorcycle.
So I looked at the Bergman, didn't I?
Yeah,
and
the Bergman
for a
125.
while, I was set on that, wasn't I? And then I found the Ninja, and I was like, I want this one.
Yeah. I think you would have had an easier time of it if you had started on a scooter, personally, because it's not such a big jump, if you know what I mean. So on a scooter, you can learn the fundamentals, things like the braking, things like the leaning and the turning, the balancing, things like that. Whereas on a motorcycle, you've got the clutch and the gears to worry about as well on top of that, and the fact that you've got a brake on the foot as well as on your hand.
I didn't want to be that girl.
Why not?
The scooter girl.
Why not?
I don't know. I just didn't want to be that one.
It's quite funny because everyone kind of...
They have a bad rap.
Whenever we talk about scooters, we kind of... I don't know, I suppose we give off the impression that we don't like them, but that's not true. I actually really like scooters. I think they're a lot of fun.
I did my first CBT on a scooter.
Yeah, and I think they have quite a lot of benefits for for everyone, really. You know, they're really easy to ride. They're really, they're simply engineered.
Are they cheap to maintain?
Pretty cheap to maintain. I mean, well, it depends on the bike, but I mean... Most scooters are at an entry-level price point that is lower than a entry-level motorcycle. So they are cheaper. They're not expected to last as long, I think, unless you're looking at things like maxi scooters, then those are more expensive and more reliable and all that stuff, made with better materials.
Because of my age, I believe if I had a scooter, a 50cc, I could have ridden it without L plates on.
No, you couldn't.
No, I'm sure of it.
No, you couldn't.
I'm just going to a little Google.
No. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I think scooters are quite a cool machine, to be honest. And I think they are a great stepping stone if anyone's looking to start riding motorcycles. And starting on a scooter is quite a good place to start. But I mean, yeah, today's going to be all about the scooters because we haven't really given them much appreciation, have we, or much love. So... But I mean, what we're going to do in today's show is we're actually going to discuss and react to some of the strangest scooters ever made. And there are some interesting ones in this list, but...
Can I just make my point?
Yes.
There's a dog head in the way. You can ride a moped up to 50cc without L plates. You do not need to take a CBT course or take the full moped test. You must take a CBT if you want to ride anything larger than 50cc.
Yeah.
So I could have just got on it without an L plate, without CBT, and be done.
Well, there you go then. So yeah, if you have a driving license, but what's the stipulations with that though? Do you have to just have a driving license?
I assume so.
Okay.
I didn't look into it that far.
I don't know.
That's on the government website. By the way.
Yeah, well, maybe have a look yourselves. But if you do have a full driving license, then technically you'll be allowed to ride a 50cc scooter without any CBTs or anything like that. So at least according to the wifey's Google search here. But yeah, don't take our word for it. Have a look yourselves.
If you have a driving license.
Yeah, you have to have a C. If you don't have a driving license, you have to have a CBT.
Yeah, but that's all on the
for
government
sure.
website, so have a look there.
But yeah, so it's really easy to get involved in riding scooters, and I mean, yeah, I'd have one myself, to be honest. If I had the spare cash lying around, because they're convenient, I'd have another one. But yeah, because I started off on a scooter back in the day when I was 16 years old, which sounds mad when you think about it, but.
That was like a long time ago.
Literally, it's really funny because, and I know that a lot of you guys are going to cringe at this, but when I started riding my scooter, the only thing I had was a helmet. The gloves were woolly gloves that I used to wear. I had a puffer jacket, which is what I would wear. And I remember that I bought the scooter. It was for my 16th birthday. No, it was a little bit later than my 16th birthday, a couple of months after. Because I remember we were in, me and my family were in Spain at the time on holiday, and I was going to turn 16 in the near future, and I kind of toyed with the idea with my mum and dad about riding a scooter, and my mum hated the idea, but my dad was open to it. But anyway, in the end, you know, I managed to convince them, and then so they booked me in for a CBT, and then yeah, a couple months later. Ended up getting a scooter. But I remember that when I first started riding, it was basically the end of autumn / early winter. So it was absolutely freezing cold when I started riding. And all I had was my puffer jacket, my woolly gloves, a baby blue scarf that I used to wear around my neck.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you sound like a right chav right now. With your puffer jacket and your woolly gloves.
No, puffer jackets aren't chav.
Where I grew up, they were chavvy.
No, they're not.
They were.
No, they're not. No, I don't know where she's getting that from. The puffer jackets. You can buy puffer jackets and go outdoors.
Yeah, no.
That's not. No.
When I was growing up,
No.
they were so chavvy.
No, this is more chavvy, don't you think? With the fur coat, the fur hood. That's more chavvy.
This is mod. Thank you very much. Look, I'm dressed to be a mod scooter rider right now.
Anyway, I basically had no official gear. All that I had was just a helmet, and yeah, I'd ride around in that. But
it was the first set of leathers or like gloves and stuff and boots you got with the ER6.
No. When I actually got on my 125cc motorcycle, the first motorcycle I ever bought, that's when I invested in a jacket. I invested in some proper riding gloves. I think I kept the same helmet because, funnily enough, the scooter got stolen. So I didn't have anything at that time. But when it got stolen, I was close to turning 17. So I was able to, and I still had my CBT, so I was able to ride a 125. So instead, I decided to get a 125cc motorcycle.
That's fortuitous, then.
And that's when I decided to get a jacket and some gloves. And I didn't get any riding boots though. I still had just trainers. And that's as bad as that sounds. That's all I wore. But I mean, you know, you live within your means, don't you? If you can't afford to buy the gear, then well,
you make do.
You make do, exactly. So yeah, so very, very interesting start to a motorcycle career. But I mean, yeah, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have
done that.
I wouldn't have. Well, I would have tried to look at buying something that at least would insulate me a lot better than it did, because those woolly gloves were absolutely awful. They were awful. They didn't do anything. And the funny thing was that because I'd have to, you know the trick. You double glove, don't you, when your hands get cold? So I had an inner glove, and then I had my woolly glove on the outside. My inner gloves did more insulating than the woolly gloves did. Well, I mean, it stands to reason because the woolly gloves have got holes in them. You know, little holes from the sewing, the wool.
Yeah.
So they were absolutely useless. So I definitely buy something that's a bit more rugged and a bit more fit for purpose. But I mean, I was 16. I didn't know anything. I had no bikers in my family, so it was literally just me discovering all this stuff on my own.
What colour was your puffer jacket?
I think it was like a grey.
Okay.
Why?
Nothing.
Why? What?
With your blue scarf and your grey coat, you would look like the Michelin Man.
I did.
Because
I did. That's
without
what
the hat.
that's what kids used to call me at school. They used to call me the Michelin Man.
Because you had the little. I'm so sorry.
No. Because
Is
I
this
had the biggest
repressed-
puffer jacket in school.
Is this like repressed fear I've just brought up from you?
No, not really.
That's really funny.
But I mean,
Mhm.
but so I fell off that scooter
Oh.
like 3 times.
Sorry.
What?
I don't know.
What are you laughing at?
It's not like, I fell off my scooter. I fell off my scooter 3 times.
Yeah, all within basically 9 months.
Oh,
And
sorry.
if you're gonna fall off anything, it's better to fall off on a scooter that can't
At
do
least
any
you
more than
didn't-
40
At
miles
least
an
you didn't
hour.
fall off 3 times the same day.
Yeah. But one of the most embarrassing occasions that I had was I was riding into school, and this must have been in January or February, and I don't know, the roads were all icy and everything. I managed to get to school okay, but the school obviously didn't grit any of the
that's ice
tarmac
rink.
in the school. But I mean, I just rode around, and I remember because the school that I went to, there was loads of buses, and kids would come from all over the county to study at this school, and anyone that actually drove in or rode in, they would go basically around the side of the bus park and kind of down the side of the school, and then there was a car park at the end, and there's it wasn't a sharp bend, but there's a pretty sharpish bend that goes past reception. All the kids, when they get off their buses, they all walk down the stairs past reception, and I fell off coming
You
around
bailed.
that bend.
How fast were you going?
Not very, maybe 15 miles an hour, if that. But yeah, it was just. I mean, the thing is, though, I don't know how it slipped, but obviously, yeah, it wasn't gritted, and it must have been minus something degrees at the time. And this was, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning. I can't remember what time I used to get into school, but yeah, it was something like that. And the back wheel just came out from underneath me.
Were you okay?
I had a massive bruise on my bum. Massive bruise on my bum, but I was so embarrassed. Literally, it was just outside reception. There was like 100 kids all walking down the
Did
stairs.
anyone help you?
No, of course they didn't. They just stood there and laughed and pointed at me.
Oh.
So I mean, I did what anyone did, and just kind of, because I was wearing my helmet, they couldn't see my face. So I just got up and picked up my scooter and walked. I kind of walked it a little bit down the road, so I was out of sight, and then I had a look at it and just started it back up again and just parked it up. But oh god, it was so embarrassing. But these things, they happen to me. Honestly, the most embarrassing thing in the world just happens to me. I'm sure that's how everyone feels whenever something embarrassing happens to them. But
There you go. It always happens to me. And it only
yeah, and
happens to me.
I just remember that. I mean, to be fair, the kids kind of forgot about it pretty quickly. There weren't any teachers around or anything, but I remember that the whole of that day, maybe the day after, I would overhear kids, talking about the kid that fell off his scooter and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, so embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, there you go. It was a rubbish scooter with rubbish brakes, rubbish everything. It was just all rubbish. But hey, I was a stupid kid, so
You live and you learn.
yeah. So anyway, I mean, but yeah, that was just a little bit of background on my scooter experience. But I still, I mean, I love that thing. When I was 16, I absolutely loved that thing, and I was actually heartbroken when it got stolen. But again, that was another lesson that I learned. I didn't lock the steering. I didn't tie it up. I didn't do anything. And then
Well, you're
it
asking
was
for it then, really,
literally
weren't
just
you?
asking for it to be stolen.
You should have just left the key in there and put a bow on the front.
Literally never found it.
No,
but,
people burnt and put in a bush.
oh yeah, probably, yeah. It was probably hidden somewhere. But I mean, I was a kid. I was a dumb, stupid kid. What can I say? So
Well, I've benefited from your idiocy, haven't
yeah,
I?
from my stupidity, yeah,
So,
definitely. But yeah. So it was funny. It was funny. But I mean, yeah, I love scooters, and I think they're wonderful machines. Yeah, but anyway, wifey, shall we crack on with our little top 10 strangest scooters ever list?
Yeah, because I really want to see what concoctions have been created.
Well, I mean, I researched this article, so I know a few of the ones that are on here, and there are a couple that are just absolutely mad. They're really funny.
There's one I saw earlier. Let's read the picture of it. It's almost like that scooter looks like a motorbike, but it's a scooter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I showed you like an hour ago. Oh, I'll show you now.
Oh no, it looked like a scooter.
Yeah, but it looked like it had.
No, it was a scooter. You could tell.
No,
it was a scooter.
I know that. I'm not stupid. But what I'm saying is, it has been made to look more close to a motorbike, like with the way the.
I don't think you can. To be
Difference
honest.
of opinion. I'm right. You're wrong.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, scooters that you always have like a seat, and your feet sit in front of the seat. Yeah, always in front of the seat. That's how a scooter always works. On a motorcycle, on the other hand, your legs are on the either side of the seat.
And you always have a seat.
No, but it's a different seat. It's a bigger seat. On a scooter, it's a bigger seat.
Yeah.
And on a motorcycle, it's a smaller seat, so you can wrap your legs around it, like riding on horseback or something like that, I imagine. But yeah. So okay, let's whack you all over to our second screen here. Top 10 strangest scooters ever manufactured.
Small, compact, practical, but definitely strange.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I think this one comes in a bit later on in the list, but
it's like a tuk-tuk.
Yeah, it does. It literally, I bet you that's probably what inspired a tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk or tuk-tuk?
Tuk-tuk, I think, isn't it? Yeah, tuk-tuk. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, the very first one that we've got here, I have no idea how to pronounce this, but this comes from the Czech Republic, or Czechia, as it's now known, and I imagine this is called a Chetza? A Chetseta? I don't know how it's pronounced, but it was made in the Czech Republic. Well, in the People's Republic of Czechoslovakia, so it was under the Soviet Union at the time.
Oh, it's got like a little railing on the front.
Yeah, so
storage.
So the funny thing is about this is that the fuel tank is mounted at the front,
as opposed to underneath.
Opposed to underneath the seat or wherever.
What's that bit on the side? So move that bit.
That
What's
bit?
that?
I don't know. That might be the Kickstarter. I don't know actually. Now that I'm looking at it, hang on. I've got the article on here on my laptop, so I can have a look at it a bit more detail. But no, it just looks like it's
It's like a handle.
Just design. It looks like it's a piece of design.
Very bizarre.
But
the kickstand's down. Sorry, you said kickstart, didn't you?
Kickstart, yeah. No, because a lot of old scooters had kickstarters as well. But no, that doesn't look like a Kickstarter to me. But yeah, so produced in the 1950s, 1960s, and apparently it's coming back in apparently it's being remade. Yeah, 2018. This bike is being remade.
Wow.
So,
do you know what I think? No, before we keep going down, give up.
Go on.
I think we should have the question at the end of this. Would you buy it?
Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. So yeah, produced in the 50s, 60s, Czechoslovakian Socialist Republic, and it was cheaply made, but I mean, it's like quite a lot of vehicles from the Soviet Union era were all about how cheap it could be made rather than how good it could be made. But I mean, the styling of it is quite classic. It looks like a little bit like a jet ski, don't you think?
Yeah.
But
no, we need to go back up and see if we're going to buy it or not.
We haven't finished yet. This is the same one. Yeah. And apparently, it's 6.5 feet long.
This has got a flat tire at the back.
Probably. But yeah, 6.5 feet long.
It's a torpedo-shaped body.
A scooter that's 6.5 feet long.
Oh, so there's storage underneath the seat.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Most scooters have their storage underneath the seat anyway, because they usually have a space for a helmet.
But that's like having a boot.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. But the fuel tank was at the front here, which is so interesting.
Look, it does look weird. It looks really weird. And look at that really straight exhaust.
I mean,
like it's like a little torpedo.
Nowadays, you'd call that a maxi scooter. I mean, what was the displacement of it? Did it say? A 175cc two-stroke single cylinder.
It's bigger than my bike.
So it's a pretty. I mean, for a scooter, it was a bit. Must have been a bit of a thumper, but oh yeah, and it had a foot-operated 4-speed gearbox.
Oh, so now they're electric.
It wasn't automatic.
So the ones that are being brought back are electric.
Yeah, but it still keeps this same shape and style. Apparently,
yeah.
Be interesting to have a look at what these look like now.
Be interesting to see how many sold.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this actually resembles a moped more than a scooter. Then,
yeah,
isn't that the main difference between scooters and mopeds? Is that scooters are automatic and mopeds are manual, I believe, I don't know. Let us know in the chat
I
if
don't know.
if you guys know. But yeah, very, 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 very interesting. And look, coil-over shock absorbers as well. Oh, well, later models. Oh, okay, cool. So, okay, right. Would you buy it then? Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this nicer example here.
I don't know. I'm torn because it's 175,
Mm-hmm.
so it's bigger than a 125.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough. I like.
It probably is slower.
Yeah.
It is more than likely
I think-
slower than your 125.
What's put me off is the shape of it. I think it's a really bizarre
it
shape.
looks like a boat. I don't know. I think it looks quite
If
interesting. It looks unique.
If I could ride it on land and in the water, then yes. But I don't know. It feels very.
I mean, this might be the first ever maxi scooter.
It feels
I don't know.
very. It feels very 60s in that colorway.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah.
I can imagine that being driven down the promenade in Brighton in the 60s.
Maybe, yeah.
Would you buy it?
No, I don't think so, personally. I mean, it looks quite cool, it looks quite neat. But
there's a few features on there that I do really like, but
yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next one then. So, the Salisbury Motor Glide. Now, when you think of a scooter, this actually looks like one of those scooters that you stand on and you push with your feet.
how bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got like no ground clearance.
I know. It's basically a skateboard with two wheels and a motor. It looks like it's got like a fridge
And a light.
freezer on the back of it.
I was wondering, is that like where the postie keeps his mail?
Yeah. That's really funny. But apparently this is a scooter that was made in the United States by Foster Salisbury. And apparently it was quite popular. Variable speed transmission, so it was an automatic.
Wait. The Motor Glide featured a revolutionary variable speed transmission that solved many of the problems suffered by such transmissions and worked better than even that of the Vespa.
Yeah.
It only appeared much later after World War II.
Yeah, and it also predates the Vespa and the Honda Super Cub. Very interesting.
Oh, good. Is that something different? Is that the same?
So this isn't the same bike, but this is another bike bike that was made by
Salisbury.
Salisbury. Yeah.
Okay, so going on the top one,
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't because I could just get a normal electric.
Well, I was going to say this for me is something that you would actually use, almost literally like a scooter. Like a push scooter. So, yeah, something that you would go, I don't know, to the supermarket or something,
Plus,
just with a backpack or something. But
that box is probably just the engine.
oh, yeah, of
There's
course
probably
it is.
nothing useful
The fuel
in
tank
there.
will be in there as well.
That's what I mean. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like I can take the lid off and put my books in it for the day and off I go. It's not practical, that.
Yeah.
And do you not think trying to get that over a speed bump is going to be impossible?
That's what I mean. That this kind of thing is more designed for pavements, sidewalks. You wouldn't use this on the actual road, I wouldn't have thought.
It looks like you'd be sitting really far forward on it. Like, it doesn't look comfortable.
Well, no, you'd be sitting on it like as if you were sitting on like a dining table.
I don't know. It just doesn't look comfortable for me.
Maybe not.
That one looks like an absolute
But this
tank.
this one here is, I believe, the ultra stylish, supposedly, Model 85, which apparently it has aerodynamic space age bodywork.
So,
so again, that's like a maxi scooter again.
If that is the ultra dynamic, what's just the dynamic version? Because that thing is blooming massive.
Who knows? But no, I wouldn't get that.
I wouldn't have that one either. Do you know what? I reckon it's a right pain to park that.
What? Really? You can
No,
just
not that one. This one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about this one.
Well, I am.
Because it's not really in the list.
But I don't know. Again, I just going on looks of it though, because it's there.
It reminds me of an old 1950s Chevy farm truck.
Yeah. You'd have your kids all piled in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. But
You know,
I don't know. It'd be interesting to ride. But
when you watch a cartoon and something gets flattened, and they're still riding it along, it's like that. It just looks so thin.
They should have called it the Flea.
Or the 2D. Yeah.
That's funny.
Cool.
And here we go. Mitsubishi Silver Pigeon C10.
It's
Now,
very similar to that other
you'll
one.
never guess where this was modelled from.
The other one.
Yeah, it was modelled from this one here. Apparently, it was inspired by it. But apparently, the Japanese people absolutely loved these little scooters.
Does it say why?
I mean, well, apparently the creator of this guy here, I'm not even going to bother to try and pronounce his name, but he brought one to Japan, and then all of a sudden started making basically the exact same thing in Japan, and yeah,
one of these was given to the Emperor of Japan.
Yeah, these were very, very popular. Well, scooters in general were very, very popular, and I think this is probably no different. But yeah, 463,000 were produced. And obviously, they wouldn't have sold them anywhere else other than Japan, I wouldn't have thought. So
Silver Pigeon. What a name.
Yeah.
I wonder if in Japanese that sounds like something amazing, and over here we're like, shiny bird.
Maybe. But yeah, people went mad for these things. And I suppose when you consider what electric scooters look like nowadays, it's no surprise that this is the kind of thing that people wanted back in the day.
Move your mouse to the left. That's the right. Right. Up. This bit. Is that a seat for someone else?
I think that's
way?
a seat, yeah. Either a seat or a boot. I don't know. But yeah, it's really, really funny, isn't it?
I don't think I'd buy one of these.
No, I don't think I would. But I mean, even though it has resemblance of a modern day scooter,
It looks like a giant speaker.
It does. Yeah, you
holes
would never ever think that people would go around riding on something like that, even back in the 50s. But yeah, how funny.
Can I just refer to something in the chat for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi everyone. By the way.
We'll give everyone a shout out in a minute.
Dave Style said, "Why does the silver pigeon look like a biscuit tin or a toilet?"
It literally does.
And that's the thing. No, you're right, because the seat facing the other way looks like, you know, in that Top Gear special where Clarkson puts a toilet seat on the back. It looks like that.
It's a mobile toilet seat.
Yeah.
A mobile toilet.
If you get caught short, don't worry, pull over. You're sorted.
That is funny.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I'd buy one of these. But then again, though, I mean, you know, if we lived in the era, maybe
if I lived in Japan,
maybe would have thought these are amazing. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But yeah, let's just pause this for a sec, and then we'll give everyone a bit of a shout out here, because kind of been ignoring you guys tonight. So Dope Star Gaming, good to see you, mate. Zedhead, good to see you. Toka Racer, good to see you. How you all doing? Derek, good to see you, mate. Mark, good to see you. Fidelity, good to see you, mate. Good, that's everyone. Yeah, how you all doing? Zedhead Motovlogs. Hey guys, Zed's an ass for life. True that. Oh, Dope Star Gaming, fair break. You two deserve it, but I'm gonna miss it. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, we well, to be fair, we don't have many breaks. It's just Christmas. Christmas is the only time of year that we actually have a break. So
even around our birthdays, we're constantly
there was
aren't we?
The first year that we started, we had a break over our birthdays, but it wasn't long. It was maybe a few days.
Our birthdays are in the same month, which
Yeah.
is actually quite useful, if not expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. But Dope Star Gaming. Oh, that's some good news. Yeah, I'm assuming that's
Patreon.
in reference to the Discord. So that's good stuff. Toka Racer. I don't hate scooters at all. Every time I see a Super Kerbal Vespa, I feel excited. Yeah, it's true. I mean, when we were looking at scooters, me and you, you were pretty set on a Vespa, weren't you, at the time?
Yeah.
I'm not keen on Italian much, to be honest, because everyone knows Italian engineering has electrical problems. We almost everyone knows that exclusively. So I wasn't keen on the wifey getting a Vespa. I was certainly happier with the Bergman for you, definitely, and it was bigger, and I think it had better performance and things as well. But you just like that old, because you like the 50s, don't you? You like the 60s. As a wifey likes the old style looking things. So I'm not surprised, to be honest. Is it something that you would buy one day as a Vespa at some point?
No, probably not anymore.
No? Interesting. They're very popular. I mean, whenever you see these scooter meets, because they're popular,
Yeah.
They're all Vespers.
Well, the thing is, obviously, growing up in Brighton, we'd have a lot of 60s moped days,
Yeah.
and you'd see Vespers everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'd see them a lot. I don't know. I don't think I would anymore. But I mean, ask me next week. I might change my mind. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Dopestar Gaming. I feel like scooters are definitely sensible, cost, utility, etc. But if you plan to ride a geared motorcycle, then I feel like it's a bit of a delay of getting a real feel for gears and bike points. Yeah, I suppose, that whole idea of throwing someone in the deep end and kind of seeing how they get on, that kind of thing. But to be fair, I was happy with the way how I learned how to ride, because it was, for me, a few less things to worry about. I didn't have to worry about the braking. I didn't have to worry about the balancing. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I could literally focus on the gearing and the clutch and all that stuff. And I don't know, for me, I remember that it didn't take me long to learn to be able to apply the same skills that I learned on a scooter, on a motorcycle. And it didn't take me long to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Bearing in mind, no one taught me anything. I learned a motorcycle totally self-taught. My CBT was done on a scooter, not on a motorcycle, and I still had my 2-year CBT when I bought my first proper motorcycle anyway. So I was totally self-taught, and I think it helped me. I don't think it was anywhere near as overwhelming as, I didn't have a choice, because if I wanted to ride something when I was 16, I only had a scooter. That was the only choice I had. But if I was 17, for example, and I had the choice, I still think I would have gone for a scooter at the time if I hadn't had any experience whatsoever. Maybe that would be different if I had a family member or a friend who knew about bikes and they knew how to ride them and they were to help me. Then maybe I would have got straight into motorcycles then. A bit like you have.
I was going to say, I'm like the case
maybe
study
it would have
right
been different
here.
for me. But yeah. No, I still think that they're a good starting point, just to get those fundamentals right, just to get that feeling on two wheels. Because I know that it's not an easy thing. Well, it is. Riding a motorcycle is fairly easy. Once you get it, you've got it for life. It's not one of those things that you'll forget. But getting into it to begin with can be quite overwhelming. It feel quite overwhelming. You felt that a few times as well.
Yeah.
In the past, when there's so many things you have to remember. There's so many things you have to be aware of, in addition to concentrating on the gears and the clutch and all that stuff, the leaning and moving your head and looking in your mirrors, all that usual stuff. There's quite a lot more to it than just driving a car. So yeah, it's definitely I think it's still a valuable skill to learn. Definitely, even if you don't ride a motorcycle, knowing how to ride one, I think, is still important anyway. But yeah, Zhead. I think a lot of fun is to be had on scooters. I think a moto vlogger's trip away with everyone riding cheap scooters would be funny. I think that's actually a really good idea. Yeah. I say that. They did it on Top Gear, didn't they? The Vietnam special was on, two of them had scooters, and Richard Hammond did it properly and had a motorcycle.
And we reference it in our Smooth Brain, don't we?
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah, that's right.
Right,
but
I'm
I
literally
think,
wearing a calendar on my head.
I think, imagine if they did a Grand Tour special with, like the cheapest scooters they could find. But I don't know if that would be too different to what they already did, to be honest. But yeah, I definitely for a YouTube channel idea, I think that's a really good one. If you just get a few people and just get them on scooters and do like a little road trip or something, it'd be really funny. Yeah, definitely, that's a good idea. Don't start gaming chavvy. Am I wrong? Come on, a puffer jacket isn't chavvy. Come on. I listen to heavy metal. How can I be a chav? It's the exact opposite of a chav.
Yeah, you might have not listened to chavvy music, but you might have dressed like one.
No, I didn't. I promise you, I didn't. I think I got some pictures that my mum took from back in the day. I do not look like a chav whatsoever.
I'm sorry.
Trust me.
I'm setting my I'm resolved now. That is.
Honestly, the wifey doesn't know what chav is. She has no idea.
Oh.
You grew up in a chavless area. You really did.
I really did not.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't at all.
Let's have a look here. What else? Toco Racer. A motorcycle has foot pegs to put your feet on. Scooters have a deck to put your feet on. Mopeds have a bicycle-style pedals to put your feet on. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about the bicycle pedals. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on here with dope? What's that?
I don't know. It's almost like there's a bit of conversation missing.
Yeah, I think we've kind of missed a little bit there. What's going on?
I've been reading it and I couldn't see where it was referencing, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Fidelity. Made it late, but I made it evening all. Yeah, good to see you, mate. I'm glad you're able to join us today. Dope Style Gaming, I won't lie, some of those Indonesian drag scooters are absolute demons. They rip like no one's business. It's actually true that there are some scooters out there that are just absolutely mental. And I mean, they must have been modified, but I remember there was one time when I think I was on my 125 at the time. So I must have been 17, 18, but I remember I was stopped at a traffic light and I'd filtered, and there was another guy on a scooter that had done the same thing basically, and we were both next to each other, and I thought to myself, well this guy's going to be really slow, isn't he? Because it looked like just a bog standard 125cc scooter, and when he got off the line, man, it literally launched it. I mean, he was on the other side of the crossroads before I'd even got the bike into first gear, kind of thing. It was ridiculous. But yeah, it must have been modified. But yeah, God, it's so quick. Yeah, some of these scooters are mental. Yeah, Dope Style Gaming. Why does the silver pigeon look like a biscuit tin / toilet? Yeah. Derek, Dope Style. Now you said that, I can't unsee it. Yeah, we felt the same way.
It is so true.
It is true. Oh, Jim P, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Dope Style Gaming, the single person on the on planet Earth that dislikes Italian engineering, the infamous Penegali hater. No, that's not true. That's not true. But I mean, we all know Fiat. Fiat are pretty questionable when it comes to their engineering / electrics. So it's not like my. The thing is, though, I mean, companies like Aprilia, companies like Ducati and MV Agusta, I'm sure they make absolutely fantastic motorcycles. I can't really say either way because I've never ridden one of them before. But for me, I just think they're overrated a lot of the times because of how much they are, how much they cost, especially when you compare them to other offerings, even from other European brands. You know, when you look at what you can buy from KTM and you look at what you can buy from Triumph, and not to mention the Japanese brands, I just think they're a bit overkill, really. Well, not overkill, but what's the word? Like, they're asking too much for them. I mean, to be fair, actually, it was a couple of weeks ago when I went in to get my oil filter from the dealership. This is when I was doing the ZH2 oil change. I saw an MB Agusta in there, and yeah, it looked pretty cool. Had loads of modern stuff, but I wasn't taken by it. I wasn't particularly fond of the styling or anything like that, but I can't remember exactly what model it was. I wasn't really concentrating, but yeah. No, I don't hate anything, to be honest. I mean, I'd definitely give Italian bikes a go for sure, but I just don't know if I'd ever own one myself. But I have a lot of bikes on my hit list, and I don't think an Italian bike is on there yet, for the time being.
Or if it is, it's not in the top, is it?
No, definitely not. No. But I mean, you know, I feel the same way about BMWs. I wouldn't buy a BMW personally, and I know that people absolutely love BMWs, but I wouldn't buy one myself, just because again they're massive stark contrast to their cars. You know, BMW famous for their bulletproof cars, but yeah, total opposite on their motorcycles, which is really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. You never know. You never know. I definitely wouldn't avoid riding an Italian bike if I got the chance. No, definitely not. I'd definitely take up the chance, you know. Don't start game. I swear one day I'll get you on one and we'll change your mind. Oh, I'm sure I will. Don't worry. I like to keep an open mind. Jimpy, Italian engineering is a bit like Italian my Italian girlfriend, good to look at, but not much good for anything. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Wow. I mean, to be fair, you can't really argue. You're not Italian, are you?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
You know I'm not Italian.
I don't know. People are from everywhere nowadays, aren't they?
You know what would have kept being Italian from me for 9 years? My deepest, darkest secret.
I don't know, maybe.
Weird.
Derek, I started off on a moped on my first CBT. 6 months later, stepdad swapped my moped for a geared 125. Never ridden geared bike before, so I had to teach myself. I did 2 CBTs, and during the second one, I went for my DAS. DAS. Do you know those?
No.
No, I don't know either. Direct access.
Oh, I know what that is.
Direct access. Yeah.
My dad talks to me about those.
So yeah, I mean it's what most people do. Direct access, but yeah.
You're being watched so intently right now.
Hello. He's hiding behind the wifey's screen. So
There he is.
right. Dope style gaming. I listen to heavy metal. How could I look like a chav? I've got all the nurses staring at me after that laughing outburst. Brilliant. Fantastic. Fidelity, Golden Rise, what was that about a Discord? So I've committed to, by the end of November, to have the Discord and the Patreon up and running. So we will, because the last day in November you said was Wednesday the 30th. So on December 1st, we will launch it and give you guys all the information, everything like that.
Yeah, the next live show.
Yeah, on next week's live show. Yeah, you got some funny ones in there, definitely.
You know what next week's live show is, don't you?
No, I can't remember.
It's 1 year since we started doing a live show.
Oh, blimey. Oh, God. We haven't discussed what we're going to do, though.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
Blimey, we must have discussed this ages ago.
You can tell who's organised and the memory of the relationship.
Oh, come on. That's not fair. Honestly. She first calls me a chav, then she says I can't remember anything. Well, the second one's probably true. Wedge AO, yo, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. All right,
let's go back to the toilet seat.
Yeah, let's go back to the toilet seat. All right, so this is the last one that we left off of the Mitsubishi Silver Pigeon. All right, so I don't think we would have that, but here we go. Here's a classic one, the Honda Cub.
Is that a mini bike?
Basically, it is, yeah. But it's funny how it's classed this as a scooter because you actually sit with your feet on either side of the seat, not in front of the seat. It's just really interesting, isn't it?
How tall do you think you could be to ride that?
I don't know. It looks like a kid's bike, doesn't it?
Because you'd have your knees by your ears, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I can't imagine that'd be comfortable for a long period of time.
Maybe the picture isn't doing it justice. It might look small in the picture. I don't know, but it does look like a kid's bike.
You almost need like a motorbike next to it to understand like the size.
Yeah. But yeah, the Super Cub.
Super Cub.
100 million units have been produced. That's absolutely mad. Yeah, so many of these. I think these were quite popular in the 90s. I never saw them, but maybe it was just in the United States or something like that, rather than in Europe. I don't know. But
does those wheels make it look like a toy with the white inside?
Well, I think this one in particular is an off-road model.
Right.
I think that's why it's got those knobbly tires.
There's the white bit inside. I don't know why. It just looks like a toy.
Yeah. I can't really argue with that. But I mean, this was another iteration. Yeah, this is a snow version of the Cub.
See, now that looks like a model.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I know.
It doesn't look
mad.
Real.
It's mad, but no, these are legit. And
tell you what, though.
Yes.
I'd want to try them.
Oh, I'd have a go on one of these for sure. These are famous.
I'd want to try them. I'd never heard them before.
People love the Super Cubs. They absolutely love them. It's got a really cool name as well, you know.
If I ever went to Canada and they're like, right, we're going to put you on this, I'd be like, give it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Definitely had a go. But yeah, how cool. And they made a snowmobile version of it as well. That's awesome.
How powerful are they?
It doesn't say actually in this what the specs of them
Oh,
are,
they were
but I
made
mean,
in 5 years.
seeing as it's a EZ90, I imagine it's a 90cc single cylinder.
So you won't get anywhere
So
fast.
no, it probably produces less than 10 horsepower,
Right.
I imagine. But yeah, very very interesting machine, and fully automatic and electric start. Which for scooters, especially in the 90s as well, scooters with just an electric start was quite a revolution at the time.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a single seat. You wouldn't have like.
You'd struggle to fit someone else on the back, but their legs would be dangling on either side because there's no pegs for them.
It'd be like when you see those kids riding when they've got someone on the handlebars and their legs are like this.
Yeah. But no, I would have one of
I'd
these.
try.
I'd definitely have one of
I'd
these. The Honda Zook from the
Wow.
90s.
Do you know what that looks like to me?
Go on.
A mobility scooter.
You're right. It does,
It's
doesn't
the basket, I think.
It looks like a mobility
I
scooter.
think it's the basket that's doing it for me.
I never would have thought that.
I like the colour.
I thought to myself, to begin with, like, with the basket on the front, if they had a bigger basket, it'd be the perfect Deliveroo scooter.
The right colour for Deliveroo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
But
the same colour
yeah.
scheme and everything. It
For
was made
me,
for Deliveroo.
To me, it looks like a mobility scooter.
Yeah. So apparently, I mean, Vespa's obviously, very, very popular to this day. But it looks like as if, this might be Honda's kind of attempt to get into that market.
What's this? So you got the seat.
Yes.
You then got that box in front. Is that to take the seat out?
No, I think that's for the petrol, for the fuel.
Oh, is it?
I think that's the fuel
I
cap.
can't really, for some reason, my eyes are really wonky today.
Or
can't tell what it
it's
is.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing anywhere else where a fuel cap would be, so that's what I'm assuming. That's where the fuel would go in.
Maybe it runs on hamsters.
But yeah, 8-inch tires, top speed of 25 miles an hour. Wow, there you
God.
go.
That's a proper little city
Funny, isn't it?
city thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite funny actually, because when you look at this, you'll see some resemblance to a few of the things later on in the list, which are just so interesting. But I wouldn't have this personally. Maybe if I was a Deliveroo driver, Deliveroo person, and if I could ride this on the pavement,
I was going to say pavement-wise.
then I would be interested in something
I wouldn't
like this.
feel safe taking that out on the road.
No, definitely not. But petrol tank holds half a gallon. So what's that? What, 3 litres? No. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know what gallons are. I forget. But yeah, so yeah, there you go. It's a kickstart only. And most scooters back in the 80s, 90s were kickstarts. So
I don't.
yeah, how
I don't
funny.
know.
The Honda Juno.
Wow.
Now this looks proper 50s. This resembles a cruiser. This looks like the Goldwing.
It looks like don't the Cadillacs have those things on the back?
I think they
Like
did.
those
Yeah,
wing
the
type
old
things.
Cadillacs. Yeah, I think they did.
I don't actually mind the look of that.
Yeah,
too
no,
much.
I think it looks pretty cool, to be
I
honest.
like it. I like it's got a leather seat. That's very classy.
And again, it's a manual as well. It's not automatic. It's a manual. It's a gear lever right there. But
yeah,
and it's the first electric start on any motorcycle.
It was modelled
What?
along the lines of the Vespa, so I'll get one of these instead of a Vespa then.
Well, only 6,000 less than 6,000 of them were produced, so you'll be lucky to find one.
It was expensive. The engine overheated. It was too heavy. It was underpowered and unwieldy.
I mean, this was in the
The
early
suspension
days
was
of
problematic.
This was in the early days of Honda,
And
so
the
I'm
customers
not
didn't
surprised.
take to having to operate the clutch via a hand lever.
Hand
Goodness
lever.
me.
Wow.
I still like the look of it.
It looks cool. If it's rubbish, then
Do you know
fine.
what?
But it looks cool.
Go just when was it released? Go up a little bit higher.
1954.
So-
It was only 1 year. 1 year it was out.
I bet that looked like an absolute rocket.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
I
spaceship
bet it
to
looked
people
really
in the
cool.
50s.
Definitely.
Yeah, like it. Yes, I'll have that one, please. That's 2 so far out of the list.
Look at that. Lambretta. Now, I've never ever heard of Lambretta before, but apparently this is the fastest scooter ever made. Excuse me, I should clarify. The fastest 125cc scooter ever made.
Do you know what that looks like to me?
It looks like the Fat Boy.
It looks like the torpedo from Mario.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, apparently Lambretta were a competitor to Piaggio at the time.
Aren't Lambretta cigarettes?
Is it Lambretti?
I don't know. I'm
Cigarettes?
you thinking of Lamborghini?
No. I see the resemblance of that font, so maybe I do know them from somewhere. But yeah, so this was a 125cc scooter that, I mean, scooter in loose terms, that apparently broke the speed record, and it went 120 miles an hour, this thing. And this was in 1951. So I think that's pretty impressive. 120.6 miles per hour in a 125cc engine. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, but apparently, Lambretta faded by 1972, so don't really know what else they produced after that. But
you were right, it's Lambretti.
Yeah, Lambretta, yeah. But yeah, quite a very interesting machine, to say the least. And I mean, I don't know, there aren't many 125cc motorcycles, let alone scooters, that can do over 100 miles an hour. I think back in the 90s, you used to see some non-learner legal 125cc bikes that could do over 100 miles an hour, but I don't know if they could reach 120. So yeah, very, very interesting. Well, clearly, I mean, we wouldn't have that because...
Go up again. Can you imagine going down the road like that?
Yeah.
Like you're like this, basically, aren't you?
Yeah. All right, so this is the one that was at the top of the article, the Piaggio Ape Calashino, 1953. So this has to be the inspiration behind a tuk-tuk, doesn't it? It has to be.
Must be.
But, I mean, 1953, that's going back some time.
It doesn't look overly flame retardant.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. You wouldn't want that catching fire.
No.
But, okay, so it had a 150cc two-stroke motor. And it had a rear passenger compartment, but it doesn't say how many. I imagine maybe it was just the one, but it had two wheels at the rear. So, is this a trike? Does it say? Can't really see, but it's got to be a trike. But yeah, three people in total with the rider. But yeah. Yeah, it was literally made for Rome or Milan.
A way of getting into the taxi business in the crowded streets of Rome. It's a tuk-tuk.
Literally a tuk-tuk.
That's literally what it is.
But, I mean, yeah. Next one. I don't
think I want that one.
No, I don't think so either. But this next one.
Wow.
It's a
Vespa. What the heck?
It's scooter artillery. Literally has a bazooka strapped to it.
But the thing is,
that's so funny.
With the with the kickback from bazooka, do you not think it goes forward and then the scooter zooms back?
It would launch itself backwards, probably, yeah.
And then they spend like another half an hour getting to where they were and then loading it again.
This for me was one of the funniest ones. But
literally it had anti-tank scooter.
Literally anti-tank scooter. Yeah. Made in the 1950s for French paratroopers. So this was meant to be launched out of aircraft. But yeah, an M20 75mm gun.
Light it might have been, but it could still penetrate up to
100 millimeters of armor. What? That's insane. Can you imagine rolling up on a battlefield with this?
It was designed to be parachuted into war zones in pairs.
Yeah. How mad is that?
So were you meant to sit there, ride it, and shoot the bazooka at the same time?
No, I think you're meant to get off the scooter, put it on the kickstand, and then load it.
The gun wasn't fired from the scooter, more's the pity. It was mounted on a tripod before firing. Yeah. However, in the event of an emergency, it could be fired with mounted on the scooter.
I'm sorry, but someone has got to do a video about this. I'm going to have a look. At some point, I'm going to have a look and see if someone's done a video about this and actually tried shooting it whilst riding. That'd be so crazy.
Seen what would happen.
It's absolutely mad.
600.
Only 600 are produced, but still. Who came up with this idea?
I just love it's in green.
But it does look like a Vespa. It's literally a Vespa with a hole cut through it for a bazooka. That's it.
Looks a bit like it's been cut through and then welded back together. Looks a bit shoddy, doesn't it?
Maybe. But, God, so funny. So funny. All right, this one's really cool. The Honda Moto Compo.
It's a butter box.
So, believe it or not, this was actually designed to fit in the back of a car.
I can believe that.
In the trunk of a
car.
It folds.
Does the handles fold?
It folds. Yeah, it folds up. and yeah, a trunk bike.
Can you imagine? You're like, right, I'm going to park on the outside of town. I'm now just going to get out my little butter box. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to go into town and do my shopping.
This is exactly what I used to do when I used to work in a town centre, and the parking in the town centre was absolutely horrendous. And so you'd have to park outside the city centre, and I had my electric unicycle, so I'd have that in the boot, I'd park up, get that out, and it would get me to work within 5 minutes. Walking, it would take me closer to 10 minutes. So it made total sense. Instead of having park and ride everywhere,
Can you go back down again, sorry?
let's get a load of these, shove them in the back of your cars. Well, nowadays they'd be electric, but yeah.
You'd have to have a good centre of gravity to ride this, I think.
I don't know.
I think if you were... Yeah,
It'd be like riding a mini bike. I think it'd be
maybe.
fine.
I like that. I'd have that.
I think it's cool. To be fair, I think it looks really
but
cool.
how big is the engine?
Well, I don't know if it says, but look, there you go. That's what it's supposed to look like in the back of a
Oh, I love how
back
it's
of a
the
little
same
car.
colour as the car.
yeah.
That's forward thinking.
But I mean, let's does it
It's a
say
49cc cylinder.
49cc with a top speed of 35 miles an hour?
So you could actually go down the town centre. You look a bit strange.
Yeah,
But you could.
definitely.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. To be fair,
Right.
I would definitely have one of those.
You know what that
If-
looks like
if-
though?
if I-
now
you
you know Kawasaki made that little deer thing that moves like
No,
no.
the deer thing that moves.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, wifey. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kawasaki robot.
Are you sure you're not talking about Boston Dynamics?
No. You know what? I do know what I'm talking about sometimes.
I think the wifey's talking about the Boston Dynamics robot.
This.
Oh no, it isn't. Oh wow.
It looks like that without when its head's off. It looks like that. It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. What did you type in?
If you put Kawasaki giant robotic goat, that's literally it.
Kawasaki.
Giant robotic. Excuse me, goat. Ugh. Let's go to images.
So this is what the wifey's talking about.
We've shown this before
thing.
in the live show.
Oh, we have. Yeah, you're right. We have. Yeah. I don't really get it, but that is a Boston Dynamics robot.
Oh.
It's Boston Dynamics robot with
Kawasaki branding.
a deer on it for whatever reason.
I don't think it's a deer.
Very odd. Well, whatever it is, whatever it's supposed to be.
It's a Bex.
A Bex. Ibex.
They weigh the same as a giant panda. Oh no, sorry, it can carry around 100 kilos.
No, it's called Irex. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Anyway,
that doesn't
sorry.
look much like a dinosaur, but there you go.
do
Anyway,
you know? You weren't
everyone.
around.
I mean, that's our little exploration into crazy mad scooters. And I mean, yeah, there are some funny ones, but for me, the standout one has got to be that Vespa with the friggin' artillery piece
Bazooka.
connected to
Yeah.
it. You know, going out the back of it. Because, like you say, I mean, if you did try firing that whilst you were riding, what that would feel like? Because I mean, the force must be massive.
You really struggle to keep it up.
I don't think you would. I think you'd fall off straight
Which is
away.
probably why it wasn't designed to be.
Yeah, but I mean, I
fast in
think that's
movement.
so funny, and the fact that it actually worked and it could in testing, and it actually could penetrate 100 millimeters of armor. I mean, 100 millimeters of armor. What's that nowadays? I mean, was that like a medium tank size, something like that? I don't know. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what armor thicknesses tanks use nowadays, but
I'm not off my military grade armor.
yeah, but it's still. I mean, it was really, really interesting and absolutely hilarious. Whoever had that idea, they must have thought it was a joke. Seriously, like, let's get a Vespa and let's put an anti-tank barrel on it.
Unless
come on.
They were like deadly serious. Like guys, I've got an idea. Bazooka scooter.
I don't know. It's so funny, so funny. But yeah, and the one that looked like the Fat Boy as well. The Fat Boy is the is the nuke that they dropped on Hiroshima, I think, in the 1940s in the Second World War. But yeah, how funny. So yeah, let's see what you guys have to say about those ones. Fidelity, Goblin Rise. You got to be festive, fancy dress to mark 1 year. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
We will if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. We won't see him.
We need proof sent to Instagram before the show, and then we'll do it.
Dopestar Gaming, Honda Zook X Deliveroo, waiting for my new livery now. Gentleman Rider, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Welcome back. Derek, I had a 125cc that struggled to hit 70 miles an hour going downhill. Never mind getting close to 120. Yeah, I know. It's true. It's true. Yeah, getting 120 miles an hour from a 125 on a scooter motor as well, no less. It's madness. Dopestar Gaming, surely tuk-tuks existed before the 1950s. I don't know, actually. Maybe they did.
Let's have a little Google.
But it's just really odd, isn't it? How we all know what a tuk-tuk is, but obviously they must have taken, if they were, well, I don't know. I don't know if anything like that existed before then. I mean, you don't see it in the TVs or anything, do you? In the TVs, in the movies.
Tuks. Yeah. Came into use around 1879 as a 2 or 3 wheeled cart pulled by a person.
No, but a motorised tuk-tuk.
Oh.
So the idea of a tuk-tuk has been around for a long time. Since the 1800s, late 1800s.
You carry on, because there's so much garbage for me to get through.
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, everyone calls them tuk-tuks, but I don't know if they're made by a single manufacturer. 1960?
Well, that's when Thailand imported motorised tuk-tuks in 1960, so around in the 60s.
Okay. So it looks like then it all came kind of around about the same time then, in that case. Yeah. Mild 125 used to hit about 65 to end. Yeah, Jim P. Yeah. Derek could do one of them in Bristol. Yeah, the little Hondas. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Derek, I'm off, peeps. Ride safe. I'll catch you all next week. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, I mean, I think it's time for me and the wifey to shoot off as well. But I mean, thank you ever so much for joining us on today's show. It's been an interesting one, looking at in the history of some crazy scooters. And I mean, yeah, there's loads of uses for scooters, and I think it's really interesting to see what some people have come up with and how far they can push the concept. But I mean, yeah, it looks like as if all the wacky inventions came, well, pre-2000, basically. Scooters are pretty much the same now, aren't they, across the board?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. And thank you ever so much for everyone that put their comments in the chat. Honestly, you guys are absolutely awesome. You guys make the show what it is. So thank you ever so much for that. Really appreciate it. And yeah, the wifey and I mean, we're going to do something special next week, apparently, but I can't remember what that is. So the wifey's going to have to remind me over dinner.
It's a surprise for you as well, then.
But yeah, it'll be a total surprise for me. And yeah, so next year we're going to celebrate 1 year of doing the live show, which absolutely, it sounds mad. 1 whole year that we've been doing this. Crazy.
Yeah, next week.
But yeah, so, and yeah, I mean, well, it coincides quite well, actually, with the whole Discord and the Patreon going live as well.
It's completely planned.
Yeah, totally not. But yeah, it's all fallen into place quite well. So that's awesome. So yeah, that's all to look forward to next week, everyone. Thank you ever so much for joining us today. Got our video coming out tomorrow as per usual, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. But if not, I hope you'll have a good weekend, and we will catch you all next week. So yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Safe.
Ride safe.